having mutual respect to understand, okay, hey, I may not agree with some of the things you do outside or some of the things you do in the office or in your personal life, but I trust that you can do your job.
Welcome back, folks. We still haven't named this show yet. It's this uncensored, unfiltered, or something. It's in progress. Hopefully, by the time you're here listening to this, we will have a name for it. What's up, Wall? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Just excited for this one. I think it's going to be a good show as
Yeah,
always, and looking forward to talking about this one.
yeah. I think we picked a very interesting subject. Our aim for this show is just to have a safe place to talk about some topics that are a little bit more sensitive in nature and controversial, even, and very opinionated, even. And just have a safe place to listen and to talk about these things. And what we're talking about today is code switching. And for those of you who don't know what code switching is, it's the practice of alternating between different languages, dialects, registers within a conversation or social context. If you get the meaning, right? One way at home and you one way at work, right? Kind of the gist of it.
Yeah, not being authentic, or it could be in different social settings at work too, that you may act different around a certain group of people at work versus a different subset.
Wow.
I don't know.
Some interesting examples of code switching. And one of them is switching between formal and informal language. That's like a big one. It's slang, right? Especially, I guess everybody has their slang, but in New York, we have some real serious slang there. And I definitely can relate to this. And why this subject was really important to me is because I felt that shift and I felt, oh gosh, but I never felt like it should be that way because the way I taught myself. And now, a word from our sponsor, TrakGO. To celebrate Small Business Month, TrakGO is offering you a chance to experience the power of their time clock software completely free for the first month. The simply better employee time clock software that is going to make your life easier. TrakGO already has a unique graphical employee time card, and that will help you quickly identify and fix the mistakes.
TimeTrack Go just announced the addition of automatic PTO accrual earnings, so you can say goodbye to those manual calculations. And TimeTrack Go integrates with your favorite payroll systems, including QuickBooks, Gusto, ADP Workforce Now, Paychecks, and more. Don't miss out. Take advantage of this special offer. Use the link in this post to start your 14-day trial in the month of May to qualify for your first month free. Let's go.
Let's go. The definition of integrity was being the
Mm-hmm.
same person you are, no matter who you're around. So I
Mm-hmm.
really aimed for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not perfect, of course. I think even in our best cases, we still will regulate this, but I feel like I've gotten to a better place where I'm more authentic at work
Mm-hmm.
and all in my whole life. When to the point where my friends know, because they're like, "Ah, Brian, you're always using the words and that," and that's just a part of who I am, right? Like it's just I'm big on words and definition of the word, being intentional about what you use.
Yeah.
So that was real important to me early on. So I tried to speak less slang so that I only spoke one way.
Yeah.
Of course, when you're with your friends, right? Slang is easy. Another example, if you're from a different country from where you are, you're alternating dialect or accent. Ooh, I have a cousin. She lives in the South now, so accent is more Southern most of the time. But when she comes
Mm-hmm.
to New York or if she's around her New York fam, her accent shifts back a little bit. You know what I mean? So that's a good example of the altering dialect or accent. Another one is modifying vocabulary. I think that's like the formal and informal language, but okay, adapting your vocabulary to suit the context of the audience. Okay. There's a lot of good ones. Another one is adjusting nonverbal communication. That's big, like body language, right? Like how you would carry yourself if you were not home, the swagness of things and all that. Like that's a big one. I've
Yeah,
noticed that, right?
yeah, yeah, and I noticed that too with like certain people. You have certain looks, and I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, like, and you only do that with them.
I've
Mhm,
seen walks. I've seen people like in a neighborhood, the walk is different. And then you catch them somewhere else and they're very like, oh, the walk, like your walk is like, oh, whoa, okay.
mhm,
That's a good call out.
yeah.
What is it? Using bilingualism or multilingual. Oh, okay. This is a big thing with Spanish folks. And this is controversial because Spa- the Spanish speaking natives will go back and forth in and out of Spanish and English. And if you're
Mhm,
at work, that may make people feel uncomfortable. And I've known people that have been like talked to because of that and things like that. I don't speak Spanish that fluently to do it. So
mhm,
I've never been, you know what I mean? But I've
yeah.
been family, friends that have gone through that. So I definitely get that. That's another version of this of code switching. And then I was alternating communication style, directness, oh, aggressive or not aggressive. See, that's another thing I try to like. What about you, bro? So far, before we get through this, anything jumping out at you?
This is just an example.
Yep,
You may have a different experience with a certain group of people, or
yep,
you may have a different
yep,
background, different beliefs,
yep.
political things. You may know that somebody else at the job may be a little bit different, so you act different with them. You're more aggressive
Mm,
towards them. You're, instead of just being trying to be balanced and treat everyone the same. That's like how I feel like you may be alternating your communication style with certain folks.
right.
Like I know, I know people that that I'm guilty of this, especially when I was younger, because of that fawning that was in me, that people pleasing. And I act this way with this group of people, and then act another way and try to be more prim and proper with other people because I didn't want to seem like they say ghetto. I didn't want to seem
Yeah,
ghetto at work. I didn't want to seem ratchet
yep,
or anything
yep.
like that.
That makes me. I'm gonna keep it real, right? There's a safe
Yeah.
place. I'm gonna keep it real. That makes me think of male female dynamics, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I was learning how to behave at work, I was still like being nicer to the pretty girls, and you know what I mean? Like she cute, I want to be
Uh,
nice to her, da, da, da. And then and like immediately coworkers pick up, oh, you try, what are you doing? Like they easily pick
yeah.
up on, it, and then you realize, oh wait, that's inappropriate. How obvious I am, you know what I mean? And again,
Mm-hmm.
integrity. I used integrity to like bring me like my as my foundation, as my true north. Act the same no matter who they are, no matter what they look like, no matter how they treat you. You treat them the same. You know what I mean? Have that
Yeah.
same energy, especially at work. And if nobody's breaking your trust and things like that, I'm gonna trust you too. I shouldn't. You know what I mean? So let me treat everybody the same. And but I try to apply these rules like in my whole life, everywhere, throughout everything. I don't know why it's stuck, but integrity. I guess this bothered me. That's what it was, like seeing people in my family that would act one way and then
Yeah.
another way behind, right? I
Yeah.
that I did not like that. I did not want that
Yeah.
for myself. You know what I mean? Because it was toxic. You know, be honest, right? It's toxic.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that for myself. Early on, I knew at least that. And
Yes.
right? I didn't know much. It took me forever to learn everything, but I didn't know much. But I knew that, and that's guided me since. And so this is something I've really been again, this subject that it's close to me, and I felt more safe in this environment than and any other, kind of more exposed to
Yeah.
talk about some of this stuff. Another one, and I call my eyes shifting humor and jokes. That's a
Mm-hmm.
good one too, because sometimes people, whoa, well now you all of a sudden you missed the jokester over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
those dudes, right? It's all good. You and him just chilling, or you and her just chilling. But all of a sudden, you in
Yeah.
a crowd, and now they miss the funny, and they snapping on everybody.
Yeah.
whoa, who's
Yep.
this? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? For what?
Yeah.
And that's probably a need for them to feel, what are they saying? Being mindful of the type of humor and jokes you use. Different individuals, groups may vary sensitive things that you can't.
Yeah.
You can't. You gotta be like, you gotta stick with the dad jokes. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
even that sometimes is like, be careful. And the last one is modifying clothing or appearance. Sure, but that kind of
Well,
that's
it
what do
could
you
be true,
think?
right? It could be true,
Yeah, but
especially,
it's a matter of
especially
fact though, no?
a
Like,
little bit.
I'm not going to work with shorts, t-shirt, and slides.
Well, I don't think
How
when
do
I
you
think
take
of
it? How do
this
you think?
one,
Yeah, how do you think of it?
I take this as you may put on a little bit, put on some airs. Like I'll use this analogy, right? I grew up in church, and
Yep.
they say like on Easter Sunday, you bring out your
Your Sunday,
best
yes, absolutely,
on Easter Sunday. So like
absolutely. That's how. Yep. Hmm.
from a work standpoint, if the big boss is coming in this week, and or you're trying to dress to impress, right? And I know you have to take some pride in what you wear to work. You don't want to go to work sloppy
Yeah,
looking,
there's
stuff
a
like
dress
that.
code most
But,
places.
yeah, but I think what they're saying is like when around a certain group, like when you might be working in a different area, you don't really care about how you look. But then when you're around another group of people, then you want to be like top notch. So I guess
Yeah,
that's what it means from a code switching standpoint, right? Like you're switching up because
you being
you may
fake. And I know probably somebody could argue it's survival. It's acclim, it's adaptation.
it's part of playing the game.
Well, I feel like there are probably some folks out there that think like this is okay. You know what I mean? It's okay for me to be this one person. And for me, I have a problem with it because I think you can, like, find that balance throughout your whole life to be this one person that has integrity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
And
I
of
agree.
course, there's gonna be some little modifications here and there of, yeah, because when I'm with,
I'd like to introduce the Boom Band Showcase. My name is Jeff Taylor. I'm the host of the show. I'm the founder of Monster.com and Boom Band. This is a podcast about job seekers. They're struggling right now. The ghosted jobs, the black hole, everything is challenging. What we want to do is create real stories, get them talking about their superpowers, have you see what they're really like, because you're going to want to hire them. Give me a sign that you love your life.
some of my best friends and we're just having beers, like it's a different conversation, right?
Like I'll say for me, in an example where it could have been perceived as code switching, right? So I listen to everything, right? But because I worked at this one job where certain people looked at you because of who you are. And so for me, I felt like I had to, in order to fit in order to make myself look intelligent, instead of listening to Biggie or whatever in my headphones or whatever, or like hip hop, R&B or whatever, I would throw on Beethoven or Mozart. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just to try to make
But
myself.
it's not, is it real is the question.
Well, I actually do listen to those things, but the reason I did that was because
Right.
of a comment.
You were intentional with it, really.
It was more so because I wasn't being authentic. I feel like being authentic is listening to whatever you want to listen to
Right. Not thinking
within
about
a
it. Oh, I should listen
and
to
not
this.
thinking about it.
Right.
Me, how I considered that it was code switching in that moment. I was in my
Right.
20s when I did it. I was because somebody made a comment about some type of piece of art or whatever, and they asked me, "Oh, do you know what this is?" And they happen to have classical music playing in their office, and they happen to be of a different societal view
Right.
than me or
Right.
whatever, and a different race than me. And I remember that feeling of feeling stupid, less than in that moment.
Yeah.
And feeling, oh, because I didn't know who they were talking about, and I didn't know who was the classical artist or composer
I
that was
wouldn't know
on
anything.
that
Yep.
was on the radio at the
Yep.
time. And so it was to try to make myself look like I could fit in and be a part of
Right.
the clique. That's what I did, and that was code switching.
Yeah. Yeah.
One on one of code switching.
Yeah. It made me think about how, because one of my dreams is to be a CEO that can play Wu-Tang from The Office. You know what I mean? Where that's always been like, okay, I'm gonna break these barriers because unfortunately a lot of the CEOs that I grew up looking at were probably more likely to play some classical music in their office than Wu-Tang.
Mm-hmm.
That has since changed, and no dig at whatever you listen to, but it just is what it is, right? As Black and brown people, like it's taken a long time to see ourselves in these high positions. I most recently had a brown CEO and approachable and had conversations and had advice and things and recommend, and that was an amazing experience for me. You know what I mean? Because I finally worked for a CEO that looked like me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's things like that that drove my like fire to be authentic. That motivation to be authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So now we got some of the ways to be more authentic. Perfect segue. Some of the ways to be more authentic, and Walter is going to help us run us through these.
Yep. So
thank you,
the
sir.
first one is probably one of the biggest is just know thyself. Mm-hmm. Be comfortable. And another way to put it is be comfortable with being you.
Yep.
Develop a strong understanding of your values, your strengths, your interests. And the key point in here is that self-awareness.
Yes.
So you can align your actions with your authentic self. So being self-aware and being self-aware is knowing that you're not perfect, knowing that you have weaknesses, but acknowledging, not just focusing on those, it's also acknowledging your strengths and understanding that you're still a work in progress and that it's okay for you to be you.
Yep.
So that's the best part of knowing yourself.
Makes me think of you, like how you say you gotta give yourself grace. Mm-hmm. Make mistakes, things happen, you gotta give yourself grace. Know thyself, right? Know yourself. It sounds easy, but it's tough, man. Like I used to struggle with that as well, right? Again, using integrity as the true north, but because I didn't know myself, you know what I mean? And my wife, who at the time was my girlfriend, I've known her for a lifetime now. She used to tell me, "Oh, you're not even comfortable in your own skin." And I didn't know what that meant. You know, and I'm like, she was always years beyond my maturity. And I'd be like, what's she talking about? You know what I mean? But eventually I understood, and that's what it is, knowing thyself, being comfortable with yourself and knowing you, and it's okay, and giving yourself that grace. And
absolutely.
Knowing that you should listen to Biggie and not Beethoven in that moment.
If I want to. That's the thing. If I want
to. Exactly.
Right?
Amen.
Because it's my choice.
Amen.
And as long as I'm not bothering anybody else, I shouldn't worry about whether they don't like that genre of music or not.
That's right.
If I'm not bothering them, it's okay. The next one is being transparent. Otherwise, well, we would say keeping it real, keeping it 100.
Keep it 100. Keep it.
You know what I'm saying?
No, they say keep it a stack now. Keep it a stack.
Keep it a stack. So that means sharing your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions openly, while maintaining that respect and professionalism. And that means communicating authentically without hiding your true perspective. So that means we've both been in this situation, working together at other places or working individually. We share stories with each other about how somebody would be in our office with us and they'll be chopping it up with us and I'll be keying and laughing. And
I was just gonna say keying it up, yep.
Yep. And just softening us up and saying, "Oh, I agree with you. Oh, yes,
you're
I got
the
your
best."
back," and this and that. And then we get into another setting in front of everybody else in the meeting, and it's just, here goes the okie doke.
Yes.
They hit you with the okie doke. Huh?
Yes.
We were just in our office. My office. You were saying
you were just you were my biggest fan 10 seconds ago. What happened now? Yeah. And you got to be careful with that. But that ties back into being friends at work. be careful how you approach those relationships, right? That's why
And
we're
I think
so excited about all this.
yes, and I think it goes into the next point too.
Yeah,
Perfect.
see.
So
Yep.
it's building genuine relationships, not genuine like the
You
RBC
read my
one,
mind, bro.
but genuine, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like fostering connections with your colleagues based on trust and mutual respect. It means you can trust your coworkers and you have mutual respect for them. It doesn't say anything in here about having to necessarily like them in every way,
True.
but it's
I like
trusting
that.
them and having mutual respect to understand, okay, hey, I may not agree with some of the things you do outside or some of the things you do in the office or in your personal life, but I trust that you can do your job and that you respect me as the person that I am.
Right.
So like, and for those genuine ones, you like that means you invest on getting to know them on a certain level. It says personal level here, but
it doesn't mean that you have to go home, you see them outside of work. It could just be, hey, how's Jane and the kids?
How's your kids?
You
And
got
it's
kids.
authentic. It's authentic.
Right.
It's real, right? You have real concern. It's just not one of those blanket things like, how are you and the family? Oh, okay.
Hey, I got
Happy
something
holidays.
for the baby. Here you go.
Yeah.
Boom, boom,
you don't want that you don't want that robotic response.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that is about having genuine.
Hello, this is Michael Vandervoort from the Drive Through HR podcast, where we discuss ideas, trends, and activities that impact HR, talent, HR technology, and the workplace. Our focus is on expanding knowledge and igniting curiosity as we hear directly from people who are shaping the future of the HR industry. Join us.
Relationships. And if you have genuine relationships, you're going to have bumps in the road where you may not agree. You and I have had our clashes where we're just like, well, and we have to come back and realize, hey, I respect you. I trust you.
Yep.
This is how we got to work this out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
What
were you going to say?
It made me think about DMX. There's a clip out there of DMX saying, when people show you who they are, trust them.
Yeah, believe them.
Believe them. And when you approach any relationship, do that, and especially at work, because you want to be very careful about those relationships. Make sure it's genuine, and that's how you do it. Yeah, man, that's good. I like that.
But the thing about being genuine, also, yes, trust when they show you who they are. Trust that, but also remember, especially like you and I have known each other for a while, and we have this mutual respect and trust for each other. Like we automatically know to give each other grace. There's times I could just be just talking your ear off, and you're like, okay, well, all right, and you might do the same thing with me.
Yep.
And I, all right, Brian, okay, cool, gotcha. And it's not that we are disregarding each other. It's just some things you just won't agree on. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. It's a lot. We agree a lot too, but I think we're able to meet each other halfway a lot. You know what I mean? I think we compromise a lot because it's like, all right, it's like, all right, cool. I can live with that. That's cool. Let's go, whatever. And that's, it takes time, man. And that's the thing. You know, you and I are the perfect example of all this. It took time, as it should have, and through the year, and it took effort on both parts. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. And then,
that's a genuine relationship,
exactly.
Right?
And the point is, you can be more authentic in these type of relationships.
Yep. Yeah. So the next one, express your unique perspective. That means give your point of view, because not everybody thinks the same. So you may describe something in a way that may register with somebody else better than I could. I may say something in a way that may be more digestible to somebody else than a way that you could. And that's okay, because that's just our brand. We've spoken that on one of our episodes. It's about payroll, about you being your own brand.
Absolutely.
That is basically your unique perspective.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's valuable.
Your knowledge. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just saying it's valuable.
The key point in here says unique insights that reflect your authentic self.
And thank you for saying that. That's exactly right. So many folks are scared to say, what it made me think of is this time that I was talking about spam at work. Oh, I had a coworker that lived in Hawaii. I think she was, I don't know if she was, I forget if she was born or raised, but she was definitely raised there for a while. And Hawaii, spam is like the meat of the country. You know what I'm saying? It's like the national meat. You know what I mean? I'm joking, but spam, and it's just, they have a thing there with it, right? So it would, in that situation, is I wasn't afraid to be like, yo, that was my part of, because and then as we were talking about this, some of our other coworkers never had tasted spam. And I was just like, you know what? Consider yourself blessed.
Yeah. Potted meat.
Because yeah. What? I used to spread it and potted. Yeah, the spreadable, the potted meat. Like people, bro, I used to love them sandwiches. But people have never had that and I was like, yo, consider yourself blessed, man. Like that's because it came from a different place, right? I went to have my struggle was different than yours. But the point is, I wasn't scared to express that unique perspective that I had with spam. Like spam represented a struggle for me, whereas my coworker who grew up on the island just represented home.
Yes.
It was
different experiences, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And it was like, and it was so awesome to connect in different ways and talk, and to somebody else they couldn't relate because it was like, bro, I don't even know what that is, man. Y'all ate that? Oh gosh. And that's in that. And I did have a beautiful group of people there that time because we were not afraid to. We all came from different places, and we weren't afraid. Like our boss made it a safe place for us. So that's
the perfect segue into the next one, man.
See? Woo, we're hitting tonight, baby. Go ahead.
Embracing the vulnerability.
Yes.
Because you can come from different walks of life, as you just said.
Yes.
And you could have something in common, but have totally different perspectives on it. And that's why you need to have that openness. I feel another word for being vulnerable, having that vulnerability, is having openness, right? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's what I think it is. It says allow yourself to be open and honest about your limitations, mistakes, and areas that you need to grow in.
Yeah.
This authenticity can foster trust and collaboration with your colleagues.
Yes.
So you being vulnerable and showing people that you're human. Hey, I need help too. I'm struggling. I have bad days too. It helps you relate and be like, okay, Brian's not Superman. He's just like me.
And I tell you what always does it for me is after I've had a child now for almost 20 years. And again, my wife helped me out with it, right? Like I would get it with teams and they would think I'm a hard ass. Like, this guy's a dick, prick, damn. Bro, I bring my daughter to work, or I would have a situation where they see me interact with my daughter and they'll be like, oh, they would get a whole different perspective of me. And it'd be like, oh, snap, he's a dad. This guy's human. This guy's normal. Oh, snap. He's just trying to run a good department, actually. You know what I mean? He's not a prick. And I've found better ways to manage. And again, man, I'm just like, I'm proud of myself for being on this journey of authenticity for a while. And it
doesn't matter when you started it, right?
Yeah.
You could be,
and I got to get better. Sorry. We're good. Yep.
That's the thing. We're all a work in progress, right? You could be 50 right now, but still be struggling.
I ain't 50. Yo, I'm not 50, bro.
I didn't, not you.
Oh.
To the listeners, you could be 50 right now and still be struggling with being authentic. Now's the time to walk into that. You could be in your 20s and trying to find yourself. Now's the time to walk into that. The sooner you do it, the better. You know what I'm saying? But it's never too late, right? Just like people are in their 60s, 70s, 80s getting a degree.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Because it's never too late. Going on to the one, we have 3 more. Be true to your values. Ensure that your actions align with your personal values and principles. Make choices that reflect your authentic self, even when faced with challenging situations.
Yep.
So this could be the point where you want to maintain integrity, right? You have that natural integrity in you, but you hold that back, or you don't say anything, you don't step up because you don't want to be an outlier. You don't want to be different. You don't want to stand out from the crowd. You just want to be safe, right?
You
This
helped me
is a
with this
sure.
one. Okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say you helped me with one of these. This makes me think about something you helped me with. I don't know if you remember, but I was struggling with talking about Israel on Payroll in the News. And I was like, oh, I don't want folks to think it's too political or whatever. And you were like, well, Brian, why are you doing it? I was like, oh, it's important to me. I got friends from Israel. I grew up in Queens. Like, my good friends Israeli. And you were like, well, then do it. It's important to you. You connect. This is, you know what I mean? Like, it's true to your value. You know what I mean? So do it. And I did it. And because you were like, I was like, yeah, you're right. No doubt. There's no malicious motivation for this. I just wanted to shout out my people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
It's absolutely right, man. So be true to you. Just keep it real with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, hey, if
Know
you're
thyself.
not comfortable doing
Back
something,
to the first one. Yep.
Yeah. If you're not comfortable doing something, that's okay.
Yes.
But you need to make that known.
Yep.
And basically, in other words, have those boundaries for yourself and others. Right?
No is a complete sentence.
Yes. Yeah. Next one I think is really important because it's not necessarily it will benefit you, but it's an action thing that you have to do that involves other people.
You have to be
that
intentional.
is practicing active listening. Practice active listening. So that means when you want to say something, like, so sometimes what I do, and it's irritated previous partners that I've been with.
What?
So because they feel like I'm a therapist or something like that. But what I do is like during conversations, especially tense ones,
you taking notes?
I'll write something down.
Yeah,
I'll write it down because I don't want to. Because their perception is, oh, you're trying to analyze me. No, I'm not. I'm writing down notes because I want you to be able to get all your thoughts out, say what you got to say. I'm writing because what you're saying is important to me. So I'm writing down what you say because I want to make sure I have an understanding, because I may have questions about something and I don't want to interrupt you. So I'll write down what you're saying. And that's, so for me, that's practicing active listening. It's not always trying to get your point across, because there's so many different times where somebody would say something and you were like, oh, and you want to, and
you're just listening to respond.
Yes, it's that need to respond. And it's just like, okay, hey, let me just wait, make sure I have an understanding of what they're trying to say. And it's okay, and ask questions. Well, sometimes we feel like people are coming at us, and we're just so like, I got to defend my honor. I got to defend myself.
I'm always defensive, even if I'm not showing it inside. I'm like, what? So, bro, I'm like, it's ridiculous, bro. My wife is that was one of the biggest things, man. I'm not your enemy, bro. And that was something that had to click in very recently, man. It's always growing, folks. We're always growing.
Yeah. These things can help you. This is more so we're talking about you in a professional setting, but this can also help you in your personal life as well. So I think it's important, whatever method of active listening is good for you and those around you that you love and that you work with and trust, practice that. Practice that, because what I do in my relationship may not work for someone else in their relationships.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's trial and error too. It makes me think of that quote they say, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth because we should be listening twice as much as we speak.
My mom is like, she's a woman of God, and so there's a scripture that she always tells me, like, that she always quotes: be slow to speak, quick to listen, quick to hear.
Yes, I love that one too. I just got 3 examples of active listening, because I was like, How do you do that though? So it says maintain eye contact, nodding and usual verbal cues, reflective responses. Just 3 examples. That's all. You probably can get a ton more.
The last one is just as huge as the other ones. It's finding your voice. Speak up and assert yourself when necessary.
Yes, I like that one. Yes.
Sometimes people find, and it might be because of childhood things, they feel like they have to say something to chime in,
oh my gosh,
to be a part of the conversation or whatever. But when necessary, and whether that's on a personal level or professional level, speak up. If you know that something is not right with the process.
Remember that feeling the first day of school, looking for your table in the cafeteria? Do you know anybody? Where are you supposed to sit? You don't know, but you definitely feel like there's toilet paper on the bottom of your shoe. Ugh, this is the worst. Well, you know what they say, high school never ends. I'm Anna Morgan, former corporate recruiter turned entrepreneur, and I know the workforce can feel just as complicated and cliquey as high school. Trust me, I've been there. The layoffs, the imposter syndrome, the what the hell am I doing moments at 3 a.m. It all brought one point into focus. We all deserve a place to belong and learn. So I started this podcast just for us. Welcome to your Career BFF podcast, a place where everyone has a seat at the table, complete with masterclasses, no BS advice, and candid conversations with some of my favorite people. It's the Breakfast Club meets the boardroom. So whether you're the rebel challenging the status quo, the brain strategizing your next move, or the quiet wizard making magic behind the scenes, you have a seat. So grab your backpack, find your spot, and get ready to learn, laugh, and lead together. Because in this classroom, everyone's got a BFF. Class starts soon. See you there. Bye.
Speak up. If you feel like the process, as a payroll professional or a person just in general, you know that something could be done better, speak up. Speak up. Communicate your thoughts and ideas with confidence.
Yeah.
You know what you're talking about. Especially you've been in this game for a long time. You and I have decades, or even if you're new, but you're still killing the game.
Yeah.
Speak with confidence. Speak up and let your thoughts be known.
Look, I have this can be easier said than done for some. I have 3 children, and one of them is very outspoken, and the other 2 are quiet. And they have a voice. They just don't choose to use it a lot. They use it when it's right. You know what I mean? And it's tough. I think it's easier said than done, but it's true. Even if you're those folks who are quieter and don't speak a lot, you still have to know. You just got to know, hey, oh, wait, I have to talk in this situation. I have to speak up in this situation. No, what was it? When necessary. When necessary. I love those 2 words there, right? Because it's true. You don't need to speak too much. You don't need to, right? Too much is, and not enough. No, right? Excuse me. Sometimes my son says a lot, and I'm always telling him, yo, say less. You know what I'm saying? So he has the voice. So and finding your voice could also mean that balance. Just because your voice can't be always high, and you can't always be on 10, right?
Yeah.
You got to find that balance. Balance is key to life.
Yes.
Balance is key. Finding your voice is also that as well. Just finding that balance. I learned from someone, I'm not gonna name drop. He's famous in the music industry, and I had the pleasure of being around him early on. And I don't know about pleasure, but I met him. It was whatever. But he said he always spoke really softly, because he made people, when you speak softly, there's a concept that you have to be intentional about listening because you're speaking softly. So the person is like, whoa, shit, what is he saying? So he uses that trick. Folks are, you know what I mean? That's his voice, though, because he's going to make you listen.
Yep.
Whereas you too loud, they'll blur you out real quick. My wife tells me right all the time, like, I hit a certain tone, she don't hear me no more. You know what I mean? So it's balance, man. Yeah, that's a good one.
Absolutely. So at the end of the day, if you're struggling with being authentic, There's different tools, there's different sources out there. Make sure they're credible, not just some Joe Smo or Jane Smo or Who Smo
Yeah.
on social media or the internet trying to give you bad advice or their opinion. There's some credible people out there you can get information from, and you can learn how you get better is practicing, is
Yes.
doing, right?
Yes.
That's how you get better. You just won't magically get better overnight.
I talk to myself a lot. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
But that's work.
And out loud
That's work.
sometimes, and I also have conversations with people out loud, right?
Mhm.
Like I mock conversation before the conversation, so I can practice what I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? And right,
that's the part of putting it in practice, right? That's a part of doing the work to become better. I have affirmations every day. You know what I'm saying? So like whatever you need to in order to become and walk in your true authenticity.
Yes.
People are going to respect that. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect.
No
one's perfect. You just have to keep trying to get better, keep treating others with respect, and understand that you have to be vulnerable and open during this process as well, and you'll succeed. Just keep trying.
Wonderfully said, man. You said perfect a few times in this show because you said you don't have to be perfect, right? Not that to be perfect, but and I've been working on this. I don't know if it's like just a quote or a poem or something. I don't know, but it was like something about love is about the imperfections, because who would ever tolerate someone who's perfect? Right? Just think about that. If you were perfect, you'd be annoying. You know what I mean? Because it's the imperfections that we love about each other. It's the imperfections that you fall in love with about other people, and that you gravitate to other people. It's their vulnerability, right? It's their authenticity. That's what makes the connection. So if it's there's no such thing as perfection. It's the strive of it. It's the journey to it.
The pursuit of perfection.
The pursuit of it. That is the life. That is what it is, right? It's not the destination. It's the journey we're in.
Yeah.
So it's right. There's no perfect, man. There's no perfect.
Even though I just said perfect. Perfectly said.
Perfectly said. Where's perfect? Perfect. Yeah.
That's spot on, man. And
it's a good one.
Folks, tell us if you want to reach out to us and just share stories and ask us things that we've done to try to become more authentic with ourselves and other people. Reach out. We're open books. We'll tell you about our different struggles from a professional and even a personal standpoint. So let us know, and we'll connect with you and do what we got to do. This is all a process.
Yeah.
Being human is a process.
Yeah. Sorry to go back to perfect, but I'm thinking about practice makes perfect. No, practice makes progress.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because again, you're never going to hit that. There's no such thing. Only when it comes to math, I think. It's like when, yes, that's a perfect right angle at 90 degrees.
90-degree angle.
That's the only way it applies to me is as an absolute. So anywho, I'm starting a new show already here, guys. No, we're trying to wrap this up.
Yes.
Trying to wrap it up, and I'm going drifting away.
Yeah.
So that's it, man. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. Thank you, folks.
Don't code switch.
Yeah.
Keep it real. Keep it real.
Keep it a stack.
Yes. Keep it a stack. Yeah, for real.
All right, man.
All right.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We love you.
Later.
Peace.
Before we sign off, here are a couple quick things. Don't forget to follow It's About Payroll on LinkedIn, and It's About Your Paycheck on Facebook and TikTok.
Thank you for being part of our payroll community, and thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going.